looking at here, this is damage from a tornado that took place outside of Divide, Colorado at 9,000 feet in elevation. In fact, probably a little bit higher than that, about 92, 9,300 feet in elevation. This took place on Tuesday, June the 17th at 12:41 p.m. In fact, off the distance there, notice those mountains. This is on the northwest side of Pikes Peak, America's Mountain, which goes over 14,000 feet in elevation. So this is some pretty striking stuff. Now, I'm getting a few questions about what caused this tornado, but before we get into that, I want to give you some of the basics about it. First of all, again, this tornado took place Tuesday, June 17th. We saw winds with this estimated to be about 106 miles an hour. The National Weather Service office out of Pueblo went out and surveyed the damage. And you may notice within this, there's a bit of a circular component to some of that damage here. Not sure you'll be able to see it all that well, but there's a bit of circular component. So when they go out and survey whether or not this was caused by regular straight line winds or a tornado, they're looking for that cyclical look to that damage, and they certainly saw that. Now, in terms of what caused this, Pikes Peak, this is not the first time we've had a tornado here at Pikes Peak. In fact, we've had it up to about 11,000 feet on Pikes Peak itself. We've had tornadoes here. Pikes Peak sits kind of in a little bit of a bubble, a bit of an island, and you head just north and west of there. There's the South Park Valley. You may know South Park, of course, from the show South Park, but within that, that's an actual valley. Here, it's a high elevation valley, but because Pikes Peak sits by itself, you're still able to get upslope flow into this part of Colorado. So you can get the moisture, and because of the valley, you can also get a bit of that rotation. So this area does actually get tornadoes. This is not the first time that's happened. Won't be the last either, but how about that? In Colorado, a tornado, an EF1 tornado at 9,000 feet in elevation. This took place on Tuesday, June the 17th of 2025.